Hello everyone, I will be discussing today division of radicals. Division of radicals is the same as multiplication, wherein you can only divide if they are of the same order. And as we have discussed the last time, we say that radicals are of the same order if they have the same index. And in division, you are going to divide coefficient to coefficient, and then of course we have radicand to radicand. Let us proceed with different examples. So we have number 1, square root of 10 divided by square root of 2. The answer here is square root of 5. We simply divide 10 and 2. That's why we have square root of 5. Now, if we have square root of 80 divided by square root of 20, we just divide 80 and 20. That would be square root of 4. And as you all know, the square root of 4 is 2. And for example number 3, we have cube root of 5x squared divided by cube root of 5x. We can write it in this manner so that we can see it clearly. So you are going to divide our radicand. Yes, it can be written as, using law of radicals, it can be written as cube root of 5x squared over 5x. And then if we simplify, yes, we are going to cancel out 5. And then x squared over x is as simple as x. That is why the answer is cube root of x. For our next example, we have 10 square root of 6 divided by 2 square root of 3. We can write it in this manner so that we can see clearly what to divide. So in here, you are going to divide the coefficients 2, 10, and 2. And also, you are going to divide the radicand. We have 6 and 3. If we simplify, the answer will be 5 square root of 2. Where did we get 5 here? That is 10 divided by 2. And then, of course, 6 divided by 3 is also 2. The final answer here is 5 square root of 2. So next, we have 2 square root of 3 divided by square root of 3. We can also write in this manner so we can see it clearly. And as you can see here, this can be eliminated because that is equal to 1. That is why the answer is 2. And for example number 6, we have 2 square root of 24 divided by square root of 6. You can only divide 24 and 6. We have radicand to radicand. So the answer is 2 square root of 4. Again, saan natin kinuha ang 4? Yes, galing siya sa 24 divided by 6. And as you can see, we can simplify square root of 4. That would be 2 multiplied by the square root of 4 is 2. That is multiplication. So the answer is 4. Now, let us consider the next example. We have square root of 6 over square root of 3x. Take note, we have a radical sign in the denominator. So what we can do here is we can rationalize the denominator. So in here, you are going to multiply the whole expression to an expression that will make our denominator a perfect nth root so that we can eliminate the radical sign. So we are going to multiply it by square root of 3x over the square root of 3x. If we do that, then we will be having 6 times square root of 3x, that is 18x. And then of course, if we have square root of 3x multiplied by itself, it can be written as square root of 3x and then squared. To simplify further, we are going to factor out 18, that is 9 times 2x, that is equivalent to 18x, wherein 9 is a perfect square. And then, of course, to simplify this will be cancelled out together with the radical sign. So, ang matitira natin is 3x. If we simplify further, square root of 9, that would be equal to 3. And then, you are just going to copy square root of 2x. And then, you're just going to copy 3x in our denominator. So as you can see here, to simplify further, we can cancel out 3. That is why the answer will be square root of 2x over x. That would be our final answer. Next example, we have square root of x cubed over the square root of y to the 5th. pwede nyong dalawa ang gawin dito. First, you simplify before you rationalize the denominator, or you can rationalize before you simplify. Now, let us have the first one first. As you can see, we simplify x cubed, square root of x cubed. So we factored it out. We have x squared and then x. We also factored out y to the fifth. We have y to the fourth and then multiply by y. The square root of x squared is x. That's why we have here, we have square root of x square root of x rather. And then the square root of y to the fourth is y squared. That's why we have here y squared square root of y. Obviously, we cannot accept this answer because we still have a radical sign in the denominator, so we need to rationalize. To rationalize this whole expression, we just copy it. We multiply it by square root of y para mawala ang ating radical sign. That is rationalizing the denominator. If you do that, if you are going to multiply this, again, in multiplication, radicand to radicand, coefficient to coefficient. So we will be having x, and then x times y, that is xy. And then, of course, square root of y times square root of y is square root of y squared. To simplify further, we have here x. We cannot simplify anymore. Square root of xy. And then, square root of y squared. Makakancel yan. So, ang matitira natin is y squared multiplied by y. That is why we have here y cubed. And as you can see here, this cannot be simplified anymore. So, this will be our final answer. Another way to divide, just like what I told you earlier, pwede namang you rationalize the denominator first. So, the original is x cubed, square root of x cubed over y to the fifth. I-rationalize agad natin. Para mawala ang radical sign dito sa baba, we need to multiply the denominator, both the numerator and the denominator, by the square root of y. And if we do that, it will become x cubed, square root of x cubed y, and then over, we have 5 plus 1. That's why we have here y to the 6. And then again, yung x cubed natin, if a-factored out natin, we have x squared times x, and then you just copy y. And then, the square root of y to the 6, you divide your exponent to the index. That's why we have here y cubed. Then, we have the square root of x squared, that is x, and then you just combine x times y, that is xy. And then you copy y cubed here dito sa baba. So this will be our final answer. And as you have noticed, we have the same answer whether number 1, you simplify before you rationalize, or number 2, you rationalize and then you simplify. Let us have the next example. We have 5 over square root of 5 minus 3. What have you noticed with our denominator? Yes, our denominator is a binomial. So, ang tanong, how are we going to eliminate the radical sign in the denominator if the expression is a binomial? Okay, so you need to remember, a math conjugate is formed by changing the sign between two terms in a binomial. For instance, the conjugate of x plus y is x minus y. Why did I mention this? Because for you to be able to eliminate the denominator here, we are going to use their conjugate. Again, when you say conjugate, you are just going to change the sign between the two terms. Example, if you have x plus y, the conjugate is x minus y. So, para mawala ang ating radical sign dito sa denominator, we need to multiply this whole expression by the conjugate of square root of 5 minus 3. And again, what will be the conjugate of square root of 5 minus 3? Very good. You are just going to change the sign. So, ito rin yung ating expression. Minultiply natin sa conjugate, at ang conjugate ng square root of 5 minus 3 is square root of 5 plus 3. Let us see what will happen if we multiply it by the conjugate of the denominator. We have here a monomial and then binomial. So, you are going to use here, yes, you are going to use distributive property. So, 5 times square root of 5 is 5 square root of 5, and 5 times 3 is 15. To simplify the denominator, you are going to notice it is an example of sum and difference of two binomial. Pareho ang ating first term, pareho ang ating last term. Yung isa positive or addition, yung isa ay subtraction. So, yung conjugate natin dito will become sum and difference of two binomial. And again, kapag sum and difference of two binomial, the rule is, this is your first term, you are going to square the first term. And then minus, and then this is your last term, you are just going to square your last term. Square root of 5 squared is 5, and then 3 squared is 9. You just copy our numerator, and then you simplify 5 minus 9, that is negative 4. So our answer is 5 square root of 5 plus 15 over negative 4. Let us have one more example for you to understand better. We have number 10, 3 over 2 square root of 3 plus square root of 2. Again, our denominator is a binomial with radical sign. So to eliminate the radical sign, we multiply by the conjugate of the denominator. And the conjugate is, yes, you just change the sign from addition. Gagawin nating subtraction. So the conjugate is 2 square root of 3 minus square root of 2. We multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate. Let us simplify. Again, we are going to have distributive property here. 3 times 2 square root of 3, that is 6 square root of 3. And 3 times square root of 2, that is 3 square root of 2. In the same manner, yung ating denominator, this is sum and difference of two binomial. And the rule is square the first term minus square the last term. Again, you are just going to copy our denominator. And then if you have 2 square root of 3 squared, where or how did we get 12? You are going to distribute here. 2 squared will become 4, and then square root of 3 squared will become 3. That's why we have 4 times 3. The answer here is 12. And then this will be cancelled out, kaya ang matitira na lang is 2. And if we simplify it, you are just going to copy our numerator. We have 6 square root of 3 minus 3 square root of 2. And then you are going to simplify 12 minus 2. That is 10. And this is our final answer. 6 square root of 3 minus 3 square root of 2 over 10. That is how are you going to divide if the denominator is a binomial with a radical sign. Again, you just multiply it by the conjugate to eliminate the radical sign. These are the things that you need to remember. Number 1, radical expression with the same index are radicals of the same order. And then radicals can be divided if and only if they are of the same order. And again, a math conjugate is formed by changing the sign between two terms in a binomial. Example, you have x plus y. The conjugate is x minus y. So this is the last topic for operation of radicals. I hope you understand it. Thank you for watching.